created today, mainly because I am just so stressed that I just wanted to do a simple layout straight up. So what I'm using is the KAISERCRAFTS Always and Forever collection. I'm not sure if it's still available. I bought it forever ago. And I am scrapbooking a beautiful photo that was taken at my wedding just after we'd said our vows, of my husband, myself, and his grandmother, who sadly is no longer with us. But we have the photos. So she's a beautiful lady, and I thought I will do a page that would reflect her. Not necessarily what I would do, what would reflect her. So she was from the country, and she was from West Wyalong actually, and she was the most independent woman. I swear they make them tough in that family, let me tell you. She lived by herself. I believe it was right up until about she was 96, maybe 97, until unfortunately dementia or Alzheimer's. I can't recall which one it was, but yeah, and she had to go and into a home, unfortunately, which of course she went kicking and screaming. So I thought I would do a page that reflects her beautiful little home that she had, with her beautiful little gardens and, you know, simple life. And it was beautiful. We went down there a couple of times, and during our early married life, and I was lucky enough to see her in all her glory in her home, and it was so sweet, and she was such a sweetheart. And yeah, anyway, so what am I using today? I have got a short video that I'm going to post as well for something that I've bought, and I bought it on a whim, hoping that it was all that in a biscuit, and guess what? It is. It's so good. It's a little short, it's just a little short video, and I'm just showing you, I'm not really doing anything with it in particular, but showing you how to use it, and it was so dirt cheap. So that video will be up straight after this one. So I'll actually have two videos up, and this particular one, is actually, it might even go up before this one. Now I'm thinking about it. It is the best. It was so good. I can't wait to just keep playing with it. I just want to keep playing with it today. And that's good for the soul when you're really stressed out. So my mother and father-in-law and my nephew all have COVID at the moment. And, you know, it's a little bit stressful for us because they're on the south side of Brisbane, and my husband and I, we live on the north side of Brisbane. So, yeah, it's a bit stressful. But that's all right. We're getting through it. It's going to be okay. There's a lot of other people out there a whole lot worse. I thought about here, I thought, if you notice, there's a hole in this photo, right? Because I had it hanging in my craft room before I reorganized it and got all my scrapbook layouts up on the walls and stuff. And I had this photo, it's been printed forever, honestly. And I thought, how am I going to do this? Do I want to reprint the photo? What do I want to do? And I thought, I can work around it. Let's show you guys what you can do if you've got a photo, and like I did the other day when I dropped the glue on it, what do you do if there's a hole in your photo? Well, this is what I do. So I pull out, I figured if there's one hole, why not hang it like it was hanging on the wall? But the hole, of course, I did it on a whim, and it wasn't in the center. So I decided I'll put two holes, and that'll level it out, sort of thing, and I'll hang it on the wall. So that's what I decided to do. Now, to say that I use the thickest twine, it's not even, I don't even, can we just take a second to watch how hard I make this look? I haven't used my crocodile in a really long time. And yeah, I had serious issues then. Okay, so I just made a mark on my paper and then realised, I wonder if I can actually get the hole down that far. And then I didn't straighten it up. Yeah, so I had, the usual issues you have when you hang something on the wall, right? So I put my holes in and then I put my eyelets. These eyelets are so good. The colour doesn't come off these. I've had some people say that they chip the colour off their eyelets when they use their crocodile. I've never had any issue with it, to be honest. I don't squeeze the living blazes out of it. I only squeeze it till it's blaze on the back and that's it. Now, you can see there where I've actually put the metal only through the front piece. Because I use Creative Memories albums, I am very mindful. Obviously, I used to do a lot of Creative Memories, so I'm very mindful of when I use metal in an album, just to make sure it's nowhere near the photos. This particular photo, look, I can easily reprint it. It's not the end of the world. I know I put eyelets through it, but what I mean is when see how the eyelets are there, now they're going to be sandwiched between another piece of paper before it goes into my album. So yeah, I'm just using my tear tape because it's tried and true, and I know it stays stuck down for, well, I've never had any come up. So, and this is just the tear tape from Spotlight that I get here in Australia. So I am at this point, I'm just going to, so I've essentially hung my photo. Hung my photo on the wall. And Grandma had, this is what her walls reminded me of in her home. So I thought, you know what, this would be really, because she had an orange top on in the photos, it lent itself to the oranges. So it actually worked really, really well. I love the colours in this collection, but I don't have many photos that lend themselves to the orange, or, like in the Distress Oxides, like the Rusty Hinge. Like, I love that colour. But yeah, I don't know. But that's all right. It's fine. I make it work. So that's why I saw this photo and I thought, you know what? I'm going to do that. And later on in the video, I will show you what I do to some flowers. Now, I don't always use, like, I'll use a cutout or a die cut or something like that for flowers. I don't, unless I'm making a mini album, then I'll use florals, like your silk florals, that sort of thing, or your paper flowers. And I bought these flowers who knows when, and they have been literally floating around on my desk. And the other week I coloured them when I got my Distress Oxides, and I thought I just wanted to use them on something. So I decided these colours of these flowers, they were white and green, but then the centerpiece of the flowers were this really, it was like it wasn't a peach, it was more like a vomit colour. It was really bad. Like I said, I do not know why I even bought these flowers. But I figured, and I'm starting to throw caution to the wind here, guys, and I urge you guys to do the same thing. If you've got something that's been in your stash for eons and eons, and you think, why am I keeping it? You know what? It's not going to be the end of the earth. You're probably not going to use it anyway. So get one of your mediums and see if you can change the colour of it, and then you might use it. So what I'm using here, these are stamps that I bought. I bought them secondhand. They're Stampin' Up Stamps, and they're called Awesomely Artistic. Can you still buy them? Not a clue. I am not a Stampin' Up seller, whatever you call it. But I thought these leaves might be the right little bit of flora to sort of be in the background. I didn't want them, see, I just wanted it to sort of peek out. I didn't want it to be, I wasn't trying to mimic the florals in the down the bottom. I wanted this to just be its own. Now, I was using my Distress inks for this, and I didn't want the oxides. I just wanted the inks, and I'm using Rustic Wilderness and ground espresso. The reason I use the ground espresso is because that ties it in with the outside, and I thought, you know what, the rustic Wilderness matches the green really, really well that's in the flowers below. Now I'm doing first and second, what do you call it when you do it? So your first and second generation, that's it. I'm doing second generation stamping just to give a sort of a shadowed look. And I think that looks okay. It just gives it something else behind the sentiment, and I think it works. So some are larger, some are smaller, and they all, yeah, it worked really well. I was really, really happy with that. So, and it's coming together and it's looking like a wall, essentially. That's what I wanted it to look like. And so down the bottom there is where I'm going to put my journaling. Now, what I ended up doing, this is where I was like, okay, is this going to be a less is more scrapbook page, or is this going to be a more is more is more is more, and we're just going to keep adding to it? Because I think there's two different types of scrapping. There's the type where you just go bang, 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 wow, that looks good, stop. And that to me is a power scrap. Like, you know what you want, you've pulled out a new collection and you've decided, I want to do it. Bang, done. You chuck it all on. And then there's layouts that we all do it. We procrastinate backwards and forwards. Does this work? Does this not work? And you pull out stamps. You pull out all different sorts. And I really like those sprigs. These little sprigs, I've said this before, it's a die that I got, and I think I have actually worked out, I think it was Paper Maze is where I got it from. And it was like $2.99. I think one other time I said Wish, but I think it's Paper Maze. And I don't even know if you can still get it, but it is the best little sprig die. It is awesome. I love it. And I just have, you can see the little bag there, and I've just got some cut in texture white cardstock. I've got some cut in a cream, and I've just gone through and just, you've seen me there just with my finger daubers and just adding a little bit of brown and green to it, just to tie in with the same colors as down the bottom. I'm not trying to make them look the same. They're obviously different leaves, different sprigs, all that sort of bizzo, but it come together and it looked so good. I really, really like how this turns out in the end. I really do. So, okay, I'm pointing at the top because I'm like, I need something else in there. It needs to be something else. And I thought I had some little, I was looking for these flowers. Now, you're going to see finger tapping. Seriously, I'm searching everywhere. Where are they? I knew they were there. You wouldn't believe they were literally straight in front of my face. They were in front of my monitor. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, seriously? I have a TV monitor. And see, they're in a little container of things that I don't want to throw out. I've got these other bits in there, and they're out of when I cut my Uniquely Creative, they're some dies that I use. And the inside pops out and they look like coffee seeds, coffee beans. That's what they look like to me. And I'm going to make a page with them just to use them because I don't want to just waste them. Now, this is what I did with these flowers. Now, these are paper cloth looking flowers. Now, I'm using my Distress Oxides here. I'm using Fired Brick and Rusty Hinge. I've just put it onto my plastic mat that's I'm giving a third life to. And I'm just wetting it and daubing it all over the flower. And it turns out really nice. Like you can see up the top there where I sat that one, it actually turned out really good. And I thought it really blends in. So, yeah, so I just go through and I've put this in fast forward because you can see what I'm doing. I'm just daubing it all over here and there, and it works a treat. They're not just one solid colour, which is good. So, still going. So, what else have I used? The eyelets were out of the We Are Memory Keepers standard eyelets in orange tones. That's what they are. I've got a stack of them. I truly thought I'd use them a lot more than I do, but I stopped making my mini albums because my hands were really bad, and yeah, I haven't used them as much as I thought I would, but that's all right. So I decided that I was going to, there's two different flowers here. There's like a daisy looking thing, and then there's these other ones that look more like a rose, and it's the rose ones that I'm colouring right up, and it just makes them, I had to wipe the ink off there because I'll put my arm in it, and geez, it was cold today. Holy moly, it was unbelievable, the wind, and it's just, winter is definitely letting Queensland know that it's still here, it's still hanging around, and it's not going anywhere quickly. But I feel sorry for those in the UK at the moment though, with all their fires. It's not good. It's pretty scary. So the glue I'm using here, I could have used my art glitter glue, but I thought if I just put a big squelch of my it's silicone glue, I thought that'll give it a really strong hold, because that's one of the main reasons why I don't use florals like this, because there's a wire connected and then you've got to get it on the page and then you've got to hope it doesn't lift up, and yeah, so just glued that down. Now I did pop that up on a little bit of foam, just a bit of fun foam, it's all good, and I'm just dotting these flowers through all the way along. I was thinking I was just going to go 3, and then I looked and I thought, no, I want to use these flowers up because I'm never going to, this is the 3rd time I've changed the colour of them. I really, short of making them black, I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything else with them. But I urge you to have a look at one thing in your collection. I don't call it a stash, I call it a collection. Because let's be honest, we go through and we wax and we wane whether we use alcohol markers. If I'm sitting here at the moment and I've got Distress Inks, Distress Oxides, I've got mica sprays, I've got what else? Alcohol inks, there's distress sprays, there's normal paint, there's 3D paint, there's so many different things, and you go through different phases where you want to use things and you think you're going to use it and then you don't, and wax some paint on it, wax some ink on it, see what you can do with it, give it a new life, get it on a page. That's what I reckon. And so this little piece here, this is what I'm going to put my journaling on, and I was thinking, look at this, my crocodile got stuck. Has that ever happened to anyone before? I was not happy. I was about to lose my cool, I tell you, because I thought, if this is broken, I've barely used it. That's all right. No harm, no foul. So I just add a bit more of this twine. Now this twine is like the thickest stuff ever. It's like, I bought it one time to make a, what was it? It was a beach layout. That's what I was using it for. So I do this and then I put my journaling down, and I was going to, I did a zoom in on it and then I changed my mind and put this on here. So that's where my journaling's going and that's what my page looks like. So I did this zoom in, so you imagine that that piece is back on the bottom. And that's it, guys. So if you like this video and you haven't subscribed already, please, by all means, hit subscribe. It's free, and that way you will be brought back to my channel whenever I load up. I usually have one video up a day. Sometimes Sundays I have a free day. It's family day. So thanks very much, and I'll chat to you all soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.